Hello, beautiful soul family. Rebecca here, your vibe mentor. And this continues to be the space for conscious, purpose driven entrepreneurs who are looking to remove the blocks that hold them back from their purpose so that you can manifest abundance through it. And there's just something about saying that because it is an affirmation, it is a reiteration that many of us hidden seekers are stepping into the light. We are no longer the hidden light worker. We are becoming the shining light workers. And it is time. We have been tucked away like flashlights in the drawer, waiting for the power to go out. And the power has gone out. And it is such a beautiful experience to be blessed with and gifted the opportunity to assist you all in stepping into your purpose, stepping into your light. And so I love saying it every time because it's just such an affirmation and a reminder that there is a space for you and it is a safe place and you can do this and we will overcome the stuckness so that you can finally go from seeker to shining light worker and purpose driven entrepreneur. So let's talk about what does that journey look like today? How do we go from the hidden seeker or the hidden light worker and step into the conscious purpose driven entrepreneur that is the shining light worker? So it's important to kind of look at, we tend to in the spiritual world treat the spiritual path as something separate from the business path. And most entrepreneurs out there, whether or not they're aware of spirituality or energy or manifestation or the necessity for the alignment of mind, body, soul, they will typically start building the structures of their business before ever even considering what the state of their energetic body is, or their trauma wounds in their body, or the energy that it takes to maintain those and sustain those. And so it's sort of treated as two separate paths, the spiritual path and the entrepreneurial path. And this is where we bring them together because you cannot have one without the other. And so if you're new here and you're not quite clear on what's a seeker, what's a light worker, it's interesting because when people consider themselves spiritual, they're very much in their upper chakras and very much disconnected from the grounding that is necessary to be a successful entrepreneur. And most entrepreneurs are very aware of what it takes to build an online business or build a product, but they're not very aware of what it takes to align your energy and learn how to manifest and get your mind in order or your body in order. And so like I said, you cannot have one without the other. And so that's what we're here to talk about today is how do we remain grounded in this space where we are in the world today, in the society we live in today, which means we have to sort of operate under some of the rules that apply. Like money makes the world go round right now. And so that's something that we have to embrace. And yet we also need to understand that our state of being is what we create from. And if we're not aware of our state of being, if we're not aware of our internal life, if we're not aware of our thought habits or our emotional lives or how to process trauma and get it up and out of the body, then you're going to struggle. So you will struggle in either area. If you are desiring to be a purpose-driven entrepreneur and you have one but not the other, you will struggle and possibly or very likely even fail. And so it's interesting that they say only 1% of entrepreneurs are successful. I have to wonder if most entrepreneurs understood trauma healing and subconscious reprogramming and energy work and manifestation, if they might be more successful. Now, I don't know what the statistic is because I can't say that there's been research done on it, but I'm willing to bet only 1% or maybe less, certainly less than 5% of conscious spiritual beings, seekers, light workers, heart-centered beings, however you want to say it, are successful in stepping into their purpose. There are so many beautiful people who have good intentions, who want to make the world a better place, who want to end human suffering, but are not able to step into their purpose and create that purpose-driven entrepreneurship. So let's look at the stages of spiritual awakening, versus the stages of business and how they come together. How do we go from being a hidden seeker or a hidden light worker to a conscious, purpose driven entrepreneur? Okay, so let's start with the spiritual awakening. So, for those of you who are an entrepreneur, who are not really sure what's a light worker, what's a seeker, what are you talking about? Trauma healing, subconscious reprogramming, manifestation, energy work, right? So, this is for you. And also for those who may be stuck in one of these phases, right? So, the stages of spiritual awakening is the stage one is awakening to the void. It's for me, it was literally like I felt like I was standing in a dark room and somebody turned on a light bulb. And you look around you and you realize nothing is as it seems. All of the things they said I should do don't actually lead to happiness. All of the things that I thought mattered to me don't really matter. The things I thought that would make me happy don't really make me happy. And so you're just questioning everything. And then from there is the hardest part of it all comes the dark night of the soul. And what that means is you're just depressed that you have seen through the illusion. You're depressed that what they told you would work doesn't work. You're maybe very disappointed or saddened that you've spent so much time and energy trying to build this thing or create this life or do it the way they told us that we should, and it's just not working for you, right? The life we knew before this awakening or this dark night of the soul is dead. There's no going back. We can no longer live it. You have seen through the veil, as they say, the smoke screen that caused us to believe that this was valid or important, right? And so we don't know what we want. We don't know what's coming next, and nor do we know when it's going to come. And it can seem a little bit like a dark prison where we just feel like we're never going to escape this. But I can promise you, if you're there, you will get there. And it starts by stepping into the next step, which is that hidden seeker phase, where you're not quite sure what you want, but you're weeding out what you don't want anymore. And it's really a process of elimination. You're deeply seeking wisdom and knowledge, and that's where you might find that you're seeking ancient wisdom. You're looking to gurus, you're looking to yoga and meditation and manifestation, and really just trying to absorb all the information that the ancient people knew was would help you live a good life, right? I like to say that nobody gave us the instruction manual on how to play the game called life. Or I also use the analogy of our physical being as a fancy sports car. You can't drive it like you drive a Ford. You have to have the instructions to know how to make it work. This is a phase where the hidden seeker phase is where we're seeking all of that information to figure out how does this work? Because I know something's missing and I don't know what's missing, but I got to find it. We have this insatiable thirst for knowledge, wisdom, information. Like, just answer my questions. What am I missing? Like, tell me. I know I'm missing something. I don't know what it is. Tell me what I'm missing, right? And it just causes this incessant search for more information, more and more and more and more. And this is where we get stuck in the hidden seeker phase, because we become aware of the information, we hold it in our prefrontal cortex, but we're not embodying how to live what we are learning. And we're certainly not sharing what we're learning, which is what this is all about, is this teaching, learning paradigm and being of service and making the world a better place through your purpose, right? This is where most of my clients meet me, where you are in that hidden seeker phase, where you know there's got to be more to life. You keep seeking more knowledge, more courses, more programs, more mentors, and you can't quite move out of that phase. From there, this is where I would insert trauma healing / trauma spotting, which is the technique that I use. Otherwise, you could use somatic healing therapies. Something like EMDR works well, but I highly recommend you work with someone who's spiritual, because if you're not bringing in the spiritual with the business, you're not going to be able to fully step into your full capacity for manifestation, life purpose, the highest service that you are here to achieve. Ultimately, at the end of the day, most of us want to end human suffering, and that is a divine feat, right? It's not something we can do on our own. It's something that we have to have a bigger force of energy behind us. And it doesn't matter to me if you call it God, source, creator, universe, dark matter, the quantum field. it's all the same thing. It is the organizing intelligence. It's the thing that makes quantum entanglement possible. It is proven by science. So don't get hung up on woo woo versus grounded in science. We got both here. So from there, if you can step through the valley of the shadow of the death through your trauma healing and really get deep in the body, pull that trauma up and out of your body, relieve yourself of the energy that is required to maintain and live a life dealing with this crap all the time, you are living in survival, not thriving. We don't want to strive, we want to thrive. And so trauma healing, whether or not you identify as having experienced trauma, it could be traditional trauma, it could be complex trauma. Personally, I believe that the vast majority of the world is living under the perception of this is my personality, and really it's made up of a bunch of trauma responses. So whether or not you experience formal complex trauma or traditional trauma, or just the ways of the world are highly dysregulated right now, and your system is dysregulated and you're exhibiting most of the trauma responses, which I've got plenty of videos on, maybe we'll find one we can link for you. But this method, this trauma spotting method, will teach you how to either heal the trauma or reprogram the subconscious to get your body, your nervous system, your limbic system, and your prefrontal cortex, your mind, body, soul, all driving in the right direction towards your purpose, towards the thing you're here to do in the world, which is somehow of service and helping to end human suffering. Okay. From there, phase 4, we go into surrender and allow, right? This is where we stop struggling, we stop fighting, we stop resisting. Actually, I'm sorry, I skipped one. Pardon that, and there won't be any editing on this one, so you'll just have to bear with me. We'll back up. Step 4 was study of self, where we start to get to know what works, what doesn't, who am I, what is my unique fingerprint, what is my signature, what am I aligned to, what's right for me, what sits well in my body, who am I, right? It's the I am statements. Who was I made to be? And you were made perfectly imperfect for your purpose, which means every aspect of you is exactly how it needs to be to do the thing you came here to do, including what you consider flaws, which are really just opportunities for collaboration. From there, we step into step 5, which is surrender and allow, fully letting go. Okay, this is where we're letting go of the striving and we are moving into thriving. We are no longer in hypervigilance. We're no longer fearing the people or the world. We're no longer triggered to the extent that we were previously. Our nervous system goes from highly activated to in flow. It goes from masculine, resistant, fighting, gripping the steering wheel of life to feminine, magnetic, allowing, receiving. From there, step 6, awareness of your divinity, awareness of the light that lives in you and the love that it is intended to give when you shine your light. And we start to step into the awareness that we are all connected. We are all intimately connected, even more so than just, say, the butterfly effect, where, my action creates a wave in Mexico, but the oneness that we are with creator, source, divine, quantum field, however you see it, right? And finally, number 7, fully stepped into our purpose. We are a purpose-driven entrepreneur with a thriving business. We are making a difference in the world. We are doing things that matter. We are fulfilled. We are thriving. We are in joy and happiness. And that is a priority for us because we recognize we are valuable and we are worthy and we deserve to have our needs met. And in that, in our wholeness, in our healthy, healed state, we are also raising everyone else. The tide rises all boats. So you, in your happy, healthy, whole, healed, joyful, happy state, I said happy twice because it's that amazing. That is what lifts others up. You give permission to others to do the same. Your happiness is contagious. As you walk by people, you spread your vibration, your energy. It's again scientifically proven, if you spend time with depressed people, you become depressed. If you walk past someone who's happy on the street, you literally carry their energy with you. Their breath goes in your mouth and in your body. Again, woo-woo is no more. It is practical, real life. This is how you play the game called life, right? All right. Yes. And so number 7, we are living our passion. We are honoring our joy. We are doing what we love daily. We are committed to happiness. And in that, we help uplift the rest of the world. Recognizing joy is our birthright, abundance is our birthright, and peace is the highest priority. So, those are the stages of how to go in the spiritual path from awakened to purpose driven entrepreneur. Now here's where they are sort of parallel. This, a spiritual person might go down that path and not really fully step into the business system setup, versus an entrepreneur who's not awake and aware might go through the business system setup and fail because they have not gone through the spiritual path. And this is where they come together. So many of us think that we start a business by setting up the systems, but we don't. If you start there, you likely will have to go back to square one because you have not done the internal work. You have to rewire your belief in success before you can create the structure for success. So that was gifted to me as a channel through a friend of mine today. I just want to say thank you, Andrea, if you ever watch this. That was beautiful. I want to say it again because it is so critically important. You have to rewire your belief in success before you can create the structure for success, right? The healing and subconscious reprogramming must come first. You have to do the inner work first. So once you have done the healing work, from there, the steps would be number 1, declare your intent. In the beginning was the word. Word is vibration. Everything is frequency and vibration. By making that statement out loud, it is my intention to step into my purpose and start a purpose-driven business that helps end human suffering. However you want to state it, make the statement. Know that you are drawing a line in the sand, and the universe will rearrange to your command. It is your command. And a lot of what I do with my clients is stepping into your power and authority, recognizing that as within, so without, that the things you think, the things you believe, especially, that's why the healing work is so necessary. The subconscious reprogramming is absolutely critical because you will have beliefs hiding in your blind spot that you cannot see that will cause self-sabotage in the business structure setup process, right? So declare your intent. I am stepping into my purpose. I'm going to do whatever it takes. The healing is part of the process and I'm committed to it, right? Then the next step, also similar to the spiritual path, is that study of self. You have to know, what are you good at? What are you made for? Where are your opportunities for collaboration? Not flaws, but opportunities for collaboration. And what do you feel really passionately about? What have you overcome? What did you suffer through that you have now overcome, that you've gone through your healing? Because your mess is your message. And that is the thing that you're here to offer. Now, you may also end up wanting to combine it with your passion, the thing that makes you excited, the thing that lights you up and turns you on. And it's not just follow your passion. Some people like to poo-poo that, but honestly, at the end of the day, you will feel in your body what is right for you, and you will feel in your body what is not right for you. And you have to start to learn to use that discernment tool. If you don't feel like this is awesome and amazing, and you feel like you're pulling teeth every single day, you will not be as successful as you could be. You will not thrive as you might in your purpose, as you will in your purpose, right? And if you know me, I'm pretty careful about absolutes. So when I say something pretty solid like that, there's a firm amount of either research or belief behind it, right? So number 3, identify who you can help now. And this is a really critical step that many of us miss. Is we try to create the product, we create the course, we create the systems, we set up the website. In actuality, it is a bit of disassociation that's happening in the brain. Your brain's trying to get you not to get out there and risk rejection and judgment and failure, when really identifying who you can help now before you set up all those structures is really important, because you need the mirror of the other. Just like we do in the healing work, in the trauma spotting, you have to have the mirror of the other to see your blind spot. In this purpose identification process, setting up your purpose-driven business, you have to have the mirror of the other to reflect to you, this is the skill and talent that I have to offer. And that, it seems counterintuitive. It feels like, oh, I should identify that first and then go be of service. You need to identify a small piece of it and then go out and try. Ideas can only grow when they are shared. Your purpose can only grow when it is offered. And so that means you have to have the other to be of service too. And what you'll find is, as you offer your services, this is step number 4, you are testing them, you are strengthening them, and you are seeing who is drawn to you. And you will see a pattern. You will see, you will see that you attract a certain type of person. And oddly enough, they all need this thing, and you are able to offer it. This is part of the electromagnetic universe that we live in. It's the attraction that will be brought to you, and trust yourself and the divine, the quantum field, consciousness, God, whatever, to bring to you exactly what you need, because life is always happening for you and not to you. Right. So we're testing, and we're stepping into step 5, which is watching your talents grow, because as they're drawn to you, you will continue to practice, and you will see gifts and talents come online that you never knew you had, especially after the healing work is done, because a whole new you emerges. You start to realize, my whole life was a trauma response, and now I'm starting to see the truth of who I was before the world changed me. Right. So then you offer your services and test them, watch them grow. Step 6, that's when you monetize. For a while, you just keep offering those free services for a while, not very long. We want to start to monetize pretty quickly, because over giving and people pleasing is also a trauma response. So we want to move away from devaluing ourselves or self-abandonment through over giving or offering our services for too low of a price. This is also the stage where marketing and sales comes in. You will start to uh, be brave enough to put yourself out there, risk rejection, ask for what you need, ask for a high price, ask for what you deserve, not just for the sake of saying, I'm a high-end coach. No, ask for what you deserve, and feel alignment into how you're priced. Put yourself out there, let people know, this is the thing I have to offer. Learn how to conduct a sales call, not from a sleazy trying to push something on somebody way, but rather being of service 95% of the time. And at the end of the call, saying, I'd love to support you in this. Are you ready to invest in your future? Right? There's ways to go about this that are in high integrity and alignment, but it's a matter of learning how to do it and not bootstrapping through the trauma and the unhealed wounding that keeps you in that state of lack or belief that you have to be pushy or have to be sleazy or have to be sneaky or you have to pretend that you're something you're not. You don't have to do that after you heal your trauma. Right? Step 7 is perfecting your language, really getting articulate on your words, communicating with people in a way that lands. Perfecting language deserves more credit than it gets. People call it copywriting, and to some extent it is, but really having the language that lands. For example, the term hidden seeker. It took me a year and a half to get to that place, to understand, who am I calling in? Who am I speaking to? And until I use the words that resonate in your body and in your subconscious that say, hey, that's me, I can't connect with you. I can't find you. I can't help you. Right. So perfecting your language is a really critical point that comes after the testing and the trial and error and the learning and the seeing how your talents grow and learning who's drawn to you. Right. Number 8 is pivot and test and repeat, pivot, test and repeat. And so in there, where would we put the actual systems, right? Website, social media, ads, things of that nature. I would say it comes in around step 3 and 4, in between identifying how you can help people and offering your service. So at that point, you're going to start to utilize social media, just getting yourself out there. And that's going to take a few months, a year or two, but you have to just keep practicing your language, practicing connecting with people, practicing making offers, practicing your services, maybe free lead magnets, things of that nature. Then from there, step 4 and 5, we've identified what our service is, what our offering is, who are the people we're connecting with. Then, only then would I say build a website. I wouldn't say website should be first at all, even if you sell a product. The only thing you need to sell a product is social media to let people know that you have this thing, and a link to buy. And that could be PayPal, that could be Venmo, that could be Zelle, and Stripe if you have to go there. But even that is not very complicated. You just need a link to transfer. And so many people get stuck on the website and the marketing materials and the logo and the branding and all of that stuff, when that does not have to come until almost 50% of the way through the process of really getting off the ground. It's after you have watched your talents grown and you really know what you have to offer, and you've monetized, you know how much you can sell it for, you've practiced marketing and sales, and you're working on perfecting the language. In there is a great place to build a website, because you're going to build it in the beginning and end up having to redo it anyways. And people don't buy because you have a website. Very rarely. It is kind of like a calling card. Maybe you need a homepage to say, yes, I exist on the internet, but that can be done through a Facebook page nowadays. So I gave you a lot and pretty quickly, and I recognize that I was talking pretty fast, but I don't want this video to get too long, and yet I want to give you all of the information. I'm really here to be of service, and your purpose is my purpose. Getting the hidden seeker or the heart-centered being out of hiding, out of hermit mode, out of that perpetual healing phase is my purpose and mission in life. And so I want to not only kind of help you see where you're at in the process, but where you can go, and help you see where you may need to consider the other side of the equation. So I hope this helps. Please let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to put this in a document. I've actually been considering putting this in a document. So if you'd like to see it in writing, a little bit more structured and organized, and easier to follow along and reference back to, that'll probably be one of my next steps for the business in general and for all of you out there. So feel free to comment below, and I can add you to the list to email it to once you're ready, or once it's ready, I should say. I do feel like that was a mouthful, so please give yourself a pat on the back if you're still here. Pause, rewind, take notes if you must in the interim until it's written down for you. I'll just recap and say, the world needs you. You are here for a reason. There are no accidents. There's only one of you, and there's a reason for that. It's never too late. There's never too much to overcome. You can do this. And I'll say I offer free 30-minute sessions. If you need a start, you need in 30 minutes or less, I can identify the root cause of one of your biggest either abundance blocks or business blocks, and help you reprogram that so you're in a place where you can start to take a step forward, move into the purpose and the reason that you are here, move into wholeness and joy and happiness and peace and fulfillment, because it is possible for you. There's not a single person out there who is doomed to suffer for the rest of their life, being stuck in that phase of desiring a purpose-driven business, but not able to make it work. I know, because I've been there, and I am no longer there anymore. And I can promise you this modality works for just about everyone, as long as you're committed to showing up and doing the work. All right. I love you, my friends. I love you so, so, so very much. I am here for you, and I will always be here for you as best I can in my highest capacity for as long as I can. I won't make definitive statements, because who knows where the universe is going to take me next. Big things are happening, coming soon. Stay tuned. Like, subscribe, and share so you can get notified of the next video. Otherwise, I will see you on the other side. I love you, my friends. Take care. Oh, and the free session link is below if I didn't say that. All right. Namaste, my loves. Bye.